have a very good response. And I should say that we should strengthen the relationship with Bianc to share our knowledge of AIS and the capability of improving the design of channels. Well, the conclusions of this paper is that the experience gained in different stages of the project can help other services in the implementation of AIS on ATOM. It's a very positive advance, and it should be kept in mind that the process involved a lot of difficulties. Technical evaluation of the project is very positive, as the service as a whole is improved and other important tasks can be achieved. We commit ourselves to continue with the implementation of this technology, and we hope to share with you our knowledge in the next conference in Spain. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Raul, for your nice presentation. We have a few minutes left for some questions. I'm surprised that we have the time left. I see the first hand up there. Please. A little from the microphone.
Thank you very much. Omar from the Danish. Hello, from the Danish administration. This is a question for Mustafa Kolonetti. Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. You mentioned fixed access FAT-DNA, and you mentioned a population of a number of devices transmitting. Are you concerned with VDL loading, and what have you done in terms of FAT-DMI planning?
Thank you for your question. We made FDMA planning in our country, and of course we have our neighboring countries like Greece and other Bulgaria and Russia. We are quite far from them. If you consider 25 miles, and then after FAT-DMA planning, we have enough slot reservation to use AIS-810, and we have no trouble, but we are still considering, and if you remember in France, I'm asking to you also, and Mr. Jens, about FDMA planning. We are still considering, but in this condition in Turkey, there is no problem for slot allocation. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question, maybe? Yeah.
Thank you. Knut Benedict from Maritime Simulation Center, Warnemünde in Rostock, Germany. I appreciated the high standard of all presentations this morning, seen from the space perspective to the in-depth of binary signal messages, and my question is related to the last aspect. The background is that we are heavily involved into the development of system tools for maneuvering onboard ships and also for navigation assistance ashore. And as a result of this research, it came out that we are heavily needing the commanded values of ships for both pilot plug units and also for the AIS transmissions. Because it's quite obvious, if you know the commands, then you can imagine what will happen 3 minutes later after an engine order change. And so my question is, what could be the best way to implement these commanded values of maneuvering signals into AIS? both for the technical implementation as a binary message or an ordinary dynamic content of AIS, and also for the more administrative way how to put that suggestion forward.
Okay. Who's Rolf, maybe?
Well,
or yeah, Marcus?
maybe I will start and Rolf will tell more. I think it will be very possible to you with application-specific messages. If what is of course needed is a link between the comments, so you get automatically the comments into AIS, and then maybe a small piece of software or something in between to put it into application-specific message, and that you have to design first, of course, and then send it out. So in principle, I don't see any reasons why it couldn't be possible.
Somebody else?
And regarding the regulatory part of it, there are possibilities to develop regional messages, and that could be a way to start this. And if such regional message proves good and useful, they will probably be used in many places and finally turn up as international messages approved by IMO then.
Yeah, you need to know that if you are using regional messages, AIS is just a carrier of the message. It needs to be designed, but connected equipment should do the job as an aspect. Are there other questions?
Thank you. Seamus Doyle, Commissioners of Irish Lights. A question for Mr. Erving. You mentioned in your presentation the benefits of global availability of AIS information. Do you have any plans for making the information from your satellite AIS available globally? Thank you.
Yes, we do develop a policy in Norway, and we are aware that we should respect the territorial water for each country. But we are prepared to share AIS information with authorities around the world.
I saw one hand here in front of me. That's the last question for this session.
Well, more than another question is a comment. Perhaps related to the question to the college. In Spain, we are developed in the Guadalquivir River in order to improve the safety in the more dangerous passage and the use of the virtual, not really virtual aid to navigation, reference point, virtual reference point, that for the use to the ship, one indicate mainly which is the point to turn in the more difficult areas. So this is another possibility, I think, to provide information to the mariner in the river or in the special areas, the use of the virtual reference point. Thank you.
Some reaction from the panel?
As far as I understood your question, I must answer that. Yes, it's quite possible, but the problem presently is that there is no mandatory equipment to present this information on board.
Okay. If there are further questions, please use the question forums and or they contact with one of the speakers during the coffee break. We have to break up now, and we will continue this session at 11 o'clock.